Welcome back!
Welcome!
It's Honest Tea Talks with Ashley and Ronnie.
Yes.
We always do this.
Oh
We sit down, we start the camera, we sit down. We have no clue what we want to talk
We're
about.
so unscripted.
Yes.
We're so unscripted.
And then we look at each other
Oh my
like
God.
one of us is going to start talking and we
like,
don't.
got something to
Every time.
It never
Unless we
fails.
know that we want to talk about
Yes,
something,
coming
like
in.
last week. you know.
Exactly. It's so funny because that's originally what we wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Just like, let's just talk because we noticed our conversations were so awesome.
Yes.
So impactful. And we would grow, so we're like, we should record our conversations. And
we literally just look at each other. And you guys get to hear and see us just
be
dead
ourselves.
air.
Yes.
And yes, be ourselves.
Like,
It's crazy because, like she said, we started this because when we would talk, well, we still talk, that it just would go on for hours and it would get very deep. And we still, like, there will be days that, we'll come home from work and we just start talking. Mm-hmm. And we look at each other and we're like, why aren't we recording this?
I know, it sucks.
And it's hard because we're just so in the moment and just with the flow of the conversation. But then when we sit in front of the camera, it's like, what are we talking about? Because it's almost like as natural and unscripted as we want it to be.
Yes.
It's hard to, like, it's almost like forcing it.
Totally.
Because now the camera's on and we're on.
And we're like, do you have something to say? It's crazy.
I guess, okay, I'll lead into something. Before we started recording, we were talking about what the viewers want to hear or see.
Yes.
And you brought up the fact that you had the poll on your Instagram story.
Which is super helpful. Thank you guys for
Yes. You know what I think is funny?
What?
Talking on these polls for Instagram.
Uh-huh.
You know how you can see, one, you can see who's viewed the story,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And two, when you have a poll on there, you can see who's voted.
Yes.
I'm gonna say what irks me.
What?
And not many things irk me.
Uh-oh. What irks you, Ronnie?
People view it and they don't vote.
What is that?
Like,
That's like
you'll
the
get,
kid in
like-
class that doesn't raise his hand.
Yeah.
And like messes up the game for everyone.
you'll see you've got like so many people who viewed it.
Yeah.
And you got 10 votes.
Yeah. None of it.
Like,
I get that. Yeah. That sucks.
like,
That's annoying.
I appreciate those who vote. Thank you. There's a reason the
Every
poll.
vote counts.
Yeah.
Okay. Take the time.
Every vote
to
counts.
And you don't even gotta go anywhere. All you have to do is click.
Yeah.
You're already watching it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
What? I don't do people not know that you can click on it? Is that
you do?
Because I feel like I've even said like click. Like with arrows, and still
You have to
10
guide
votes.
it.
Like
There is nothing keeping you from voting other than you.
it's a finger tap. Like if you can double tap to like
Literally.
something, you can tap one time on one of those
I
polls.
wonder, you know what? That's so funny that you brought that up. I wonder why people are not clicking.
But yeah, there's a
'Cause I did
reason
that
the
too.
poll is there.
Oh,
Is it because you're afraid that we're gonna see what you voted for?
Like, it's okay. We don't judge you.
Yeah, we're not telling everyone who voted for what.
No, that's what we want. We want honest yeses and nos.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way we can help me help you.
Exactly. Yes. Like we're now in this like field of like creativity and
Yes.
wanting to find an outlet to help others
Totally.
In this respect. And in order for us to provide what you guys want, we need your feedback.
Yeah.
And that the poll is a really quick and easy way to do it.
Yeah. And especially with these topics, like, it's more than just what you want. It's what you need. Like, you are watching videos that aren't really giving you guidance in life. And we're saying, like, hey, we've come from this to this.
Yeah.
We want to help you. How can we help you?
Exactly.
What do you need? And if we say, what do you need, this or this, and you don't vote, we don't know what to do to help you.
Yeah, and I know she does it more often than I do, but we really try to put on our social media what we're experts at. Experts at.
Experts,
and
totally.
For myself, there's a wide array. So I really need to know what you guys want to hear from me, because I can go from anywhere from like your body in an actual like anatomy and physiology respect, all the way to a spiritual respect, and that's because of just the years of schooling that I've had.
Yeah.
And then with her, she's so good at her life coaching and her own experiences, and having shared her own experiences through social media, she's just an expert at it in that sense.
Totally.
She's open and vulnerable always on her social media. So,
and like I could be better at what I do, and so could she. Like we could take it to the next level and help more people through you letting us know what we could do to help
exactly.
you guys.
So please vote.
Yeah.
End rant. Hashtag end rant.
And scene.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your vote
it does. Every vote counts.
Every vote counts.
It matters. And like,
and there's no electoral college. I was having that conversation with my cousins last night.
I love that.
We were talking about, you know, obviously when you haven't seen certain family members in a while, you know, certain things about what's happening in life comes up. And unfortunately, our president is part of life. And so that came up, and then, we started talking about the whole, like, does your vote really count when technically the electoral college is the one voting? Like, I mean, California usually is almost always red or blue. This is how much I follow politics. It's not a swing state.
Yeah.
Like Florida.
Florida.
Ohio,
and that I have nothing. I'm from Miami, so hey, we didn't.
Oh yeah, it's all your fault. No,
I'm just kidding. On the contrary. Okay. Miami, I know you're the only one that stays strong. I can't speak for the rest of Florida, but Hialeah, I know what you did. I know who you voted for.
But yeah, it comes down to the electoral college. So
it's crazy.
Like, in our polls, your vote counts.
You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about anything but a click.
Just a click. Just a one finger tap.
One finger tap, and you can move on with your day and life, and it won't ever come back to haunt you.
Nope.
Promise, we're only gonna do positive things with it. So don't even. It just helps us. We care about you. Like, it matters to us what you think, not because we want to change who we are, but so that we can be better and most importantly, better at being an avenue that you can reach out to. We want to be a resource, just like you go and search Tony Robbins, like you go and search Oprah. We want to be another avenue that you can see our Instagram or see our YouTube and say like, oh, this is what I needed this week, right? Or if you want, I don't know, if you're searching something like how to make more money or how to be a better person or how to get better in health, right? Like you can search for those things and click on those things and see what our input of those things are.
And I think also we're just like you. You know, we're starting this off because we want to help people, because we want to reach people in a manner in which we helped ourselves. And we want to help others. And it's you, like you always say, that's how people like Oprah started. That's how people like Tony Robbins started. They weren't where they're at now without something like this. And it's our way of helping you to realize that, because I get asked a lot, like, how are you so positive, or how are you so this, and every day, and we want to help you with that. But we don't know how to help you if we're not getting any kind of feedback on what kind of content to provide. We basically, our content is just like on a whim, or if something happened during the week and we feel very passionate about discussing it, like the bullying last week, you know. But for those of you that do come to us and ask us for help, we appreciate that, because then it helps us and allows us to think about the content we want to put out there for you guys.
And I think it's important to know as well that we're young still, and we have experienced. Yeah, she is. That's why I said we. We are, okay. We're very young and still on our journey. And I think that's what the
journey never ends until you take your last breath.
Totally, and that's why it's like, regardless of where you're at in life, you have a young journey. I don't care how old you are. The number does not matter. That's just given to you by man. But we are very young in our journey, in the sense that we have a long journey ahead of us. But with that being said, we've also had already a lot of experiences when it comes to having no money and obtaining more money. When it comes to going from like being lost, being depressed, and then finding yourself and being fearlessly you, right? We have literally experienced manifestation, law of attraction, all of the things that you read about or hear about when it comes to these great leaders. We're
everyday people just like you, experiencing it.
The same things.
Yeah.
You know, we were once those people that were skeptics, right? We were reading it and like, maybe that worked for Oprah and like Tony Robbins and Eric Thomas, but it doesn't mean it'll work for me.
Yeah, not me.
But that's not true, right? And we have experienced so much that has brought in so many good things to our lives. We have stories galore. Like, we can literally talk forever.
And the reason we're at this point is not because we had the same experiences. The experiences are different. The experiences are individual, but the lessons are the same. The lesson will always be something similar, because that's once you, just like school, you take one class, you go on to the next one. The lessons of life are the same. You pass this lesson, guess what?
Next.
You're moving on up.
Moving on up.
And you're given another lesson. The lessons are never going to stop until the last breath you take. And what's sad is that I think a lot of people let that lesson or that hurdle be a barricade. So they keep coming back to it. They think, here it is.
Stop.
Oh crap, I'm not ready to face that yet. Let me go around it. And you go around, and because you went around, this is now a detour. But now this detour is taking you a certain way, and it looks different. It looks different, and then something else happens, and it's guess what? It's that same lesson. It's that same barricade. It just looks a little different now because you took a detour.
You didn't.
But that detour was still a circle.
Exactly. You're way back where you started. And that can happen for a lifetime.
Oh, totally.
So if you keep seeing the same patterns, that's why it's so important to be aware of the patterns and cycles you have in your life. Because, I don't know what you said. I lost my breath. Something took your breath away. I don't know what just happened with my body right now. Whoa, it's powerful energy up here.
Yeah, we're just talking about lessons until your last breath.
Whoa. Let's take my last breath on camera.
Should I take your pulse?
Please.
Still there.
Got it. Anyway, you could repeat the same cycle that literally happened to your ancestors, and I think that we don't even realize that. Like, I was repeating the cycles that I had throughout my family tree. Like, my mom was a single mom, and my mom's mom was a single mom, and my mom's mom, like, it was like there were cycles of abandonment, of rejection, of abuse, and I was falling right into that. I was following the same cycle, and then when I reached things in my life that were trying to serve as lessons, I saw them as the same thing. I saw them as barricades, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to go through there. I don't want to deal with that. And then I go around and then hit the same wall and hit the same wall until I chose to deal with it. And we've just experienced so many things in our life, and the issue is that not so much the issue, but successful people, right? Like, the ones that you know, successful leaders.
I will have to say, there's been less of that this episode than the last one.
The last one was all bad. Successful leaders will get to the point where they're successful and write about it, write about their journey. And I think what's really important to me personally with this YouTube channel is that we're not at the highest level and then talking about things that will help you get there. We're also going through it with you, and it gives you guys the opportunity to see us climb and see us be successful. It's outside.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard it and I thought it was, and then I was like, no,
sorry guys.
Okay. We're good. Technical difficulties. It's natural. It happens in real life. Like anything, we have obstacles. But we're not at the place where we're saying like, what are they doing?
I don't know, but it sounds like my camera.
I know, like something like the
yeah, like it's gonna shut down.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, like Oprah, we know she's successful, and we give her credit because of where she is. But we have just as much credit in the sense that we're climbing and going through this journey, and we're saying like, hey, we're not going through this journey alone. Let me show you that you can do it too. And we're bringing more people along with us and creating this thing where other people are ascending as we are ascending too.
Yeah.
And we're not waiting for us to be incredibly successful for us to tell you guys the secrets. We want to tell you the secrets now. Like, we want to guide you and help you through it now.
I was, that documentary I was watching, the yoga one, there's a teacher, she practices Sikhism, and Kundalini yoga. Nice. And she said it best in there. She said that the journey of life isn't to be a student your whole life. It's to be a teacher your whole life. So you learn something and you learn it enough to become a teacher. And it doesn't matter what subject. Yeah. But you want to be a teacher because you want to be able to pass that information along to younger generations so that they can also become teachers. She said if you're searching for a guru or a professor or a teacher, you want to find the one who's going to teach you enough so that you also become a teacher. Yeah. She said if you meet or come across one that initiates you into whatever you're learning but wants you to remain a student, run in the other direction.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And you know, I like that because that's something in our society that is expected, right? You're always the worker. Right, you're always the worker, and the CEO is the one that tells you what to do, and you're always being told what to do, and you learn and you learn and you learn, but you're not going anywhere. Yeah. And that's your purpose in life, is to learn and teach others. And like, even for me in my self-love journey, I didn't just go through the things I went through and overcome all the obstacles that I overcame so that I can say like I overcame them. Great, I love myself. No, it's like I see people every day that don't love themselves, and I want to teach them how to love themselves. Exactly. And I spend my days all day long, every day, trying to teach others how to take care of themselves. Yeah. Mentally, physically, and emotionally. And if it weren't for my journey, I wouldn't be a teacher of that. I wouldn't be confident and say like, oh, I can teach you how to like live life happily and fully and successfully if I myself didn't go through it. But I don't go through it just so that I can constantly go through it and constantly experience lessons. I take those lessons and I make them into my own curriculum so that I can teach other people how to have their self-love journey. Yeah. You know, it's like we are meant to teach other people, and not when we get there. I think that a lot of us hold off on projects because we're like, we're not where we need to be yet, right? Like, oh no, I can't do a YouTube channel yet, I'm not rich. And it's like, what are you waiting for? You're not going to be rich with that mentality. You have to just do it. We just started recording it, right? Like, oh no, I'm not able to write a book yet, right? Because I'm not
I know everything writer. You're saying right now is like, Ronnie's supposed to be hearing this right now.
See, this all happens for a reason. It does. We need the thing sometimes too. And it's true. Every successful person will tell you to stop waiting for the resources.
Just start.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Nike said it.
Yeah, hello, just do it. Just do it. Shout out to Nike.
You want to give us some stuff?
Yeah, we're always welcome.
Yes.
Yes. Really, do not hesitate.
No.
You don't have to ask for
just
permission.
Message us.
Hit us up. But yeah, like, what are you waiting for? Just do it. You want to make a clothing brand? Make a clothing brand. Yeah. You want to make a book? Start writing. Yeah. Like, oh my goodness, you're literally in your mind saying like, yeah, but where do I start?
There's nothing holding you back but yourself. Because no one's telling you when do I start? When do I do? No. I'm not ready. That's literally you telling yourself that. You're
hearing yourself tell yourself that you can't. Change that.
Yeah.
Change it. Tell yourself you can't, because you can. The people that write books just write them. Mm-hmm. They don't say, hey Ronnie, I want to write a book. Do you think that I can do it?
Yeah.
They write it. They just start writing. They start writing about what they feel about their experiences. When they want a clothing brand, so I really like this clothing brand, and I have followed his journey for a while now, and it's Struggle. I've told you about it a little bit. And his name is like Derek Struggle, and I love hearing his story because he will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
He literally just started his clothing brand, and his story is on his YouTube channel, and I highly recommend that you watch it too.
Say it again.
Derek Struggle.
Okay.
And I think his YouTube channel is Struggle. I'm not sure, but if you search up Derek Struggle, you will find
Does he have an Instagram?
He does have an Instagram, and it's Derek Struggle.
Okay.
It's like Struggle Athletics is his his brand.
Okay.
And it's his story that means something. And if you listen to his story, it's not about the money that he makes ever. Like, it's not about what the clothing brand brings. It's about how he heard himself say like, oh, when do I start? How do I do it? He was in a position where he didn't know what he wanted to do, but he knew that he was good at making shirts. And he just started making them. He started making them, and from that, ideas start they start, you plant a seed and you start watering it, and then ideas flow. You're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna find someone that can help me edit it. And then if you sit down and say, yeah, but I don't have anyone that can help me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know anyone that can edit it for me. I don't know anyone that can make a logo. If you sit and say that, you're never going to find them. They're not going to come knocking at your door.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. But if you go and you start on Google, like, how do I make shirts? Sorry. How do I make shirts? Or, like, how do I make a movie, even? How do I make a light show? How do I make a book? Like, all of those things, you have the answers to if you just start.
The resources are out there, but
everywhere.
You have to be the one to put in the work to look for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one's going to do it for you.
No, and the belief. Like, all you need is belief in yourself. You don't need any
You
resources.
don't need anyone else believing in yourself, in you.
You don't.
The belief has to start in yourself.
It does.
Yeah.
You're
because
the one.
Until you start believing yourself, no one else is going to believe you.
Exactly. Because imagine talking to an investor, right? Like, oh, I don't know, I think this is a good idea, but I'm not sure if I can do it. This guy's not even gonna listen. You won't even come across an investor.
Yeah.
You won't, because
you're right.
You won't. They're not looking for people like that. Your energy needs to attract what you need in order to be successful.
Yes.
And you can only be successful when you are like, hey, you know what, I want to do this and I'm gonna do it. I literally want to be successful in this, and I'm gonna start today. Stop waiting for something to tell you should. Just do it, and if you fail, then oh well.
The time's gonna pass anyway.
Yeah.
So regardless of if you start now or tomorrow, the time's gonna pass.
Yes.
And so waiting for the right time
is an excuse. Do not let those excuses keep you from being the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't let the excuses keep you from being a successful entrepreneur or a successful business owner. Like, do not let your excuses that you are telling yourself, the excuse of money, the excuse of time, the excuse of ability, none of those things serve a purpose. Every successful leader or person didn't have the resources. They most likely didn't have the money. They most likely didn't have people around them rooting for them. They most likely didn't have the same things that you don't have. So the only thing they did different was that they actually just did it.
So what we're going to leave you with is a challenge.
Yes.
If there's something you enjoy or have a passion for, we want you to start now.
Right now.
Right now.
As soon as you're done watching this video.
Yes. We love you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
We love you all.
Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Follow on social media.
Yes.
Ask questions.
Send us feedback.
Yes.
Suggestions.
Whatever you need. We
Instagram.
Peña_pequeña.
At love.soul.fit.
Yes.
And thank you for watching.
Have a wonderful week.